interviewing and do some taping. Guys, thanks so much for inviting me to come help you out with this.
Thanks, Bill.
I have Paul and David Shin with me right now, two of the four Shin boys. And guys, 20 years, what thoughts are going through your minds right now?
Well, we're just happy that got a great turnout here and a beautiful day, and let's hope everybody has a good time. That's the main thing, this deal here.
Paul, you came in from the Illinois area. What are you doing nowadays over there?
I work for a development company out in the Chicago suburbs, and been out there for about 7 years and coming back for a little baseball.
You were doing pretty well. I saw you in practice. I saw a couple of high pop-ups over the infield. All right, no, I'm just... anyway, what was the last year that you played with the Stars?
86 was the last year I played.
Okay, since you've moved, your locale has changed that a little bit, no doubt. All right, David, you're doing a little bit of coaching this year. Your dad sort of turned the reins over to you a little bit. What was the thrill of coaching this year?
Give the young kids the opportunity to play ball in a competitive atmosphere, and basically just to come out and have a lot of fun, and that's what we did. It's been a fun summer, that's for sure.
You did a little bit of playing, too. How did that work this year, player-manager?
At first, I had to work out all the kinks, but ended up having a pretty decent summer.
You going to do some coaching next year?
Oh, yeah. I plan to, unless something else happens, but I plan to coach for some time now.
I would like to know, Paul, how many years did you play for the Stars?
I played from 75 to 86, so about, what is that, 11 years? 11 years, and I play every once in a while. Whenever they need a player, I'll come out. Oh, I'll still play.
So that means you were probably playing when you were like 13, I'm going to guess, or 14?
That's right. That's right.
Now, what was it like playing against some of these older guys? Because, the guys that play, I think, are well into their 20s, maybe 30s on some of these clubs.
Yeah, that's correct. I was still just a punk, but it was fun. I could get out there and do a little pinch hitting once in a while, but more or less I was chasing foul balls.
All right. Hitting a few, too, right? Just whatever. What positions did you play?
I played outfield, a little bit of catcher, and a little bit of infield, so I kind of made my rounds. I stay away from the pitcher's mound, though. That's not my cup of tea.
Good thing.
David, how about you? What positions did you play for the Stars?
I was an outfielder and first baseman. And like Paul said, I stayed away from the mound pretty much myself.
Now, how far did you guys travel? I know you went to nearby cities, and of course teams came here to play. How far did you travel to play some teams?
We had a team here locally, and then we played South Bend, played up in Michigan, played to Fort Wayne, played on the east side near Gary, and we played some Illinois teams. So we made our rounds in the summertime.
We went to Ohio a few times also.
Well, who was down there that you played?
Oh, we played a team out of Van Wert, Ohio. We played in Defiance, Ohio, and that's what we did this year. We played in a tri-state league out of Michigan, Indiana, and then we went to Ohio. So it was fun traveling also this year. It really was.
Well, let's concentrate a little bit on just playing for the Stars. Your dad has had a lifelong history of being in baseball, and you guys played for Elston, and I know you played at the Purdue North Central baseball team. They had some good seasons out there, if I'm not mistaken. What did you fellas learn from your dad about the sport of baseball in general?
This is competitive atmosphere, and to go out and to give 110% every time you step on the field, and to enjoy the game, because we're all only young once, and this game really brings out the kid in everybody.
Oh, how about you?
The best thing I've learned is if you can't have fun on the ball field, you shouldn't be out there. And I think if you look out there, all these guys are having a lot of fun tonight, and every time they step between those lines, they're having fun. So it's the fun part that I like.
I know you make a lot of friends with the team. That's what the purpose of this is tonight. You're seeing guys that you haven't seen in years coming from all over the country. Who were some of the guys that you played with that you remember for crazy personalities or being a great ball player or screwing up or whatever? Who do you remember playing with the most?
The most memory that I have with the Stars as far as playing was Jeff Khalil was probably one of the most fun players to watch here in Michigan City. To name a few, there were a lot of others. Tony Branch, to name a few, Mickey Ott, Darrell Whistler from Michigan City, the Rust Bolt family, Tim Eldridge, Mike Bosey, to name a few.
Paul, how about you?
Well, that's a tough question, Bill. I'm not going to be like David and mention any names because I know I'm going to forget some, but everybody out there messed up, made great plays, and a bunch of good players out there.
All right, my final question is, if you can look back on a moment that was memorable for either of you, hitting a home run, getting a base hit to win a game, or a diving catch, can you think of any special memorable play or event that you were involved in, or a victory?
The most memorable for me was probably in 1974 when we brought Ernie Banks in here for Ernie Banks night, and That would have to be the most memorable event with the Stars for me.
Did you meet him yourself?
Yes, I did. I was 6 years old, and I'll never forget that.
Paul, how about you?
I think my most memorable was probably the season of '81. We had a pretty good team back then, and I think that whole year was just a lot of fun. So.
Well, I'm going to try to chat with your father and your other two brothers a little bit later on, but we're going to be watching you guys tonight, so get those bats going. We want to see a couple of hits, guys. I have Eddie Shin with me now. Eddie is the oldest. What's it like to be the oldest of the brothers?
It's an excellent feeling. I just got to overrule the younger ones.
You taught them everything you knew about baseball, right?
I taught them everything I know in 5 minutes.
Eddie, how long did you play for the Stars?
I played for about 4 years, started in '73.
All right, so shortly after high school you were done playing then, right? Working commitments got in the way, did it?
Yeah, I played for a couple years after high school, but then that was about it.
What positions did you play?
Second base and first base, little center field.
What was the thing that you most remember about playing ball for your father? Your dad's been in baseball for so many years. He's been running teams here for so many years. What do you remember learning from your dad as a baseball man?
Well, he always said to take a round bat and a round ball and hit it square, but none of us have been able to do it as well as he did. But my greatest memory is probably the longest ball I ever seen hit by him.
Was that here at this park?
No, it wasn't.
Where was it at?
That was in Chicago. There was no fence.
How far did it go?
A country mile.
Was it in a game situation or just a practice?
Right, it was in a game. I was on second base. I was in the dugout before it hit the ground.
Well, I know you're seeing a lot of old friends tonight. That's what the purpose of this reunion is. Who are some of the guys that you most remember playing for and playing with, during the Stars years?
Well, there's a lot of talent here. I'll tell you. You go back, you got Mark Oliver, you got Darrell Wisser, Jeff Khalil, Bradford. The older, the better. These guys, they're excellent. There's a lot of talent out here, and I'm glad to see they all came back.
Eddie, what are you doing now these days?
Well, right now I'm taking it easy. I'm playing a lot of golf and sitting around at the beach a lot.
All right, that sounds like a pretty good life to me. So, well, you're going to go out. What position are you going to be playing tonight?
I don't know. It depends on what they want to do with me. I really don't know where they're going to put me tonight. We'll just have to see.
Eddie, thanks so much. Go out and get a couple of hits tonight.
Thank you.
I'm back now with Joe Shin. He is the last of the Shin boys. Joe, thanks for stopping over. Joe, I think you're the brain trust in this thing, and it's been a good turnout. Let's talk about how you got this idea originated.
Well, about a year ago, which was the 19th season, I mentioned to my dad, we probably should get a 20-year reunion together. And he said, yeah, it's a good idea. Why don't you just go do that, Joe? So I did.
All on your own. What were the first steps you took?
Basically trying to contact the players. My dad had lists that he kept over the years, which helped me out a lot.
You wrote letters and make phone calls, did you, all together?
Yeah, my wife made up some flyers and invitations, and we mailed them off, and a lot of phone calls trying to get a hold of people.
What's the furthest that you sent letters or made calls to anybody, and what's the furthest that you know of that anybody has traveled to be here this evening?
Tom Hain from Hawaii, and there are two gentlemen from Florida, Mark Oliver and Rick Deerdorf from Florida.
Was it, did you find that most of the people were responding? Did you have some that you couldn't keep touch with or get a hold of, or how'd everything go?
Really, at first it was slow, then all of a sudden it was like a mad rush of major interest.
What position are you going to be playing tonight?
Unfortunately, to an injury, I won't be playing. I will be coaching and heading up some operations.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that. What's the injury?
A little shoulder injury.
From tennis or something, or what happened? Work?
Probably softball, a little too much softball.
So you can be telling all your other brothers what to do and lecturing them, instructing them on hitting and so forth. Joe, I asked your other brothers, your dad's had so many years with baseball in this city and so forth. I'd like to know, what is the biggest memory that you have playing for your dad, and what did you learn the most, from your dad with all his baseball experience?
My best memory is probably the batting contest he had with Ernie Banks back in 1974. And the most I've learned from my father would probably be off the field.
Being
how to treat people, how to treat your family, and how to treat others, and how to be a hard worker.
What is your biggest memory from playing with the Stars, like a certain victory or a certain base hit that you got, or anything of that matter? What is your biggest memory with that?
Probably just a base hit to win the game, a simple little base hit.